What's good, everyone? This is your boy Zay here with another episode of the Pencil Pushers Project, episode 54. I am here joined by Jay. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe, like, follow, share, comment, do whatever you gotta do. just do it.
Just do it.
And we always appreciate our new listeners, old listeners. Anyone who listens, man, we appreciate you. Continue to stream, continue to support. And I am joined by Jay. How are you doing today, Jay?
Pretty good, brother. Pretty good. This week is actually kind of blown by pretty fast.
Yeah.
This month is kind of gone by pretty fast, actually.
Yeah.
So, glad to be here. Not sure what the fuck we gonna talk about, but we gonna get into it. We gonna figure out something. But
pre-production was not good today.
Well, there was other matters that can't be discussed.
Yeah.
Other matters that can't be discussed for pending legal reasons. But how are you doing, man? How's your week been going?
It's been good, bro. It's been long. It's been really fast paced. I'm getting ready to. I go back to school in like 2 weeks, man. I feel like I just got out and now I'm going right back in. But I'm about.
Sounds like you talking about jail.
I know.
I just got out and they're already trying to get the boy back.
I become a senior. I should be a senior in fall though, so I'm trying to.
You're almost done.
I'm almost done, bro.
The rat race is almost over for you.
And tomorrow's my little brother's birthday, as you found out earlier.
Yeah, they sprung it on me.
Yeah.
They ain't got. How come you ain't got no gift? I am the gift. No, I was kidding.
I ain't even get him a gift yet, bro. I'm about to get him some gift cards.
What is the new thing now? What do kids even like?
Well, so my little brother's actually like shoes and stuff, but the problem is I bought them a PS5. Remember that? So it's like
there's certain gifts that have like equity. Like, I remember that.
Yeah, you remember that?
Remember that?
So
yeah. Hold that.
I think I'm good till Christmas.
Exactly. Yeah, that's gonna last you a few months.
So I bought him a PS5. So I'm like, I be seeing people hurting for them PS5s right now too, boy.
Yeah.
It's been like a war for them things.
Are you a gift person? Like, would you say you like receiving gifts like for your birthday, holidays, stuff like that?
I wasn't a gift person for a while until I met my girl.
Got the right one, huh? Yeah.
She kind of turned me into a gift person. Before, I swear I did not care about gifts. And like, if you didn't give me one, fine. I normally didn't give you one, not because I didn't want to. I just didn't really think about it. But now it's like, it's kind of like I kind of take my gifts more serious now. So, like, if it's somebody's birthday who I care about, like, I make sure I put some thought into it, and I'll be like, all right, this. And I don't give BS gifts, man. Like, 'cause I know now I don't want a BS gift. So I put work into my gifts. And
what makes a gift BS? Just not something that's not thought out?
Like,
something
like, don't give me no $25 Amazon gift card. Like, that's a cop-out.
Give it to me.
Give me at least 50.
At
least 50.
I got you.
I wouldn't even give my little brothers $25 because I'm like, what can you do with $25 today?
Pay the tax. Pay the taxes and fees.
Yeah, like, so 50 at the minimum, man. What do you consider a bad gift? Didn't you say somebody gave you some Argyle socks?
No, because I like Argyle socks. But the thing was, that was a particular instance where it was like a secret Santa for my job at the time. And one of the things that I put on my list was Argyle socks. Because I'll never get tired of Argyle socks. Mm-hmm. If somebody bought me Argyle socks for the rest of their lives, I would accept every pair.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. For me, I'm not that difficult.
You're Mr. Argyle.
If worse comes to worse and you don't know what to get me a pair of Argyle socks, and I'll rock them. I'll wear them. I like to typically have stuff I can use. So things that I know, things that most people who know me, who get me gifts, they know to try to get something that they know that I'll use. Like, I'm not really like a clothes or a shoe. I mean, you can buy me clothes or shoes. I mean, I'll wear them, but I think, like with my training business, if you buy me something that's related to that, or something that, if you overhear me saying something that's the one thing I like. When, I guess in conversation, when I talk about something that I may be needing, and then I get it, it's like, dang, that means that they thought about something that I was needing. So
right.
It's just something with thought. It don't have to be like a monetary amount to it. You feel what I'm saying? I could be talking about how, I keep picking my teeth and somebody buy me some toothpicks or something like that, and it's like, oh shit.
I didn't even realize I picked my teeth.
Yeah, like shit, like just I'm a simple person, bro. Like most in my brain, if it's something that I really want, I just get it myself. So, I don't need like an extravagant gift. But a bad gift to me would just be something that's just not well thought out, or even like with money. Like I mean, it's cool. You give me an envelope and put money in it. I mean, I'll take the money, but
money feels like a cop out though.
Yeah. If we're talking gifts, it just seems like it seems like an easy out. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, unless, like I said, unless you bought a gift earlier that year that gave some equity, and I'm watching people struggle right now for all these systems. So I'm like, y'all better be grateful, cause y'all want me to get this on y'all own. I know they wasn't.
Yeah. So what made me mad about the sock thing is that Argyle socks are not super expensive. But they bought me like regular socks.
That's what it was.
They bought me like white, thick ass, knee high socks. And I'm sitting here like, and this is the internet age, mind you. So I'm like, if you don't know what Argyle socks are, bro, you got the internet. Ask your wife. Ask your, you know what I'm saying? Cause
ask the person next to you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, ask your neighbor. Ask anybody that we work with. Cause like I said, this was like a job thing. So we had like a Secret Santa type of deal, where you pick a name out of the what you call it, a jar, and you pick up. They have like a list, so you pick the list, and then you see what the person like. Hey, this and it's the thing about the Santa thing is they literally telling you, yo, these are restaurants I like to go to, these some of the things I like to do, these some of the things I like to buy. So you already kind of get if you don't know anything about the person, you get it. It gives you like a blueprint of what they want. So for you to fuck that up, it's like
you really didn't try.
You just say, yeah, bro. You just mail the shit in, bro. So it's like to me, it's kind of like, damn, I should fire off on your ass.
I really should have asked you for a fade. Yeah, but I'm not.
But this is against work policy, against company policy. So
have I ever wanted to fight somebody over a gift? Maybe I have. I don't know.
It was just I didn't want to fight them.
Not fight, but I know what you mean.
It was just like, damn, bro, you can't. And when I asked you for a fucking yacht, so yeah, that's what it was, man. So, let's see. It seemed like this week was.
I feel like a lot happened this week, but so much happened that I'm just like, and me myself, I've been busy. So with everything going on, and then me being busy myself, it's getting like this week has been a blur. Let's look, you think Future did it? Is Future the greatest women disser of all time?
The greatest women disser?
As far as okay,
nah, I think Drake.
Current generation.
I think Drake.
But Drake is subliminal.
That's still good though. It's just
okay.
He's talking just outright.
Outright.
I mean, he's up there. I gotta do the.
Bitch, don't get too comfortable.
I mean, that's two.
I'm gonna put my thumb in her butt. Bro, I don't know, bro. I think Future has given me so many quotables over these last 10. I don't even know.
I think there's a good era of R&B where niggas was telling women about themselves. So
that's true.
So I have to go back and run the tape, but I mean, Future's up there. Future's. I mean, he's in the Mount Rushmore, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of toxic artists, especially in this generation, for sure.
Absolutely,
no doubt.
Who better?
I mean, hey, Nevadius, ain't that his name?
Nevadius. Oh, yeah, that is his name.
Is that his name? So.
Or Nadavius? Yeah, you're right. It is Nevadius. Nadavius, something like that. Him and Drake are like the top. Are like in this generation though.
Navy something. It's just something. Old Navy is not, but. So let's go ahead and get into first and foremost. We want to send our condolences to the friends, family, and fans, including us, of the late great Paul Mooney. Mm-hmm. This week he passed away from a heart attack at the age of 79. If you don't know anything about Paul Mooney, number one, if you're a young person, you would know him from his contributions to Chappelle's Show. If you're an older person, you would know him from his contributions to writing with the likes of Richard Pryor, another GOAT, Living Color. And the man is a legend, goes without saying. And he has one of my favorite lines that I think I've ever heard in modern history. Everybody want to be a nigga, but don't nobody want to be a nigga.
Mm.
So, and if you know anything about Paul Mooney, if you ever been to any of his shows, even watched any of his shows, niggas got up and left.
Yeah.
Niggas got up and left because they didn't.
They weren't ready.
They didn't like the energy that he was getting off. So,
do you feel like his death kind of went under the radar this week?
Yeah.
I feel like it did.
I feel like for it to be so sudden, and to me, Paul Mooney is, if we're talking comedians, he's top
there.
5.
Yeah, he's up there.
And again, his resume goes without saying. And I don't know in the comic community, even just in the comic community, I haven't really. I mean, and again, maybe because I haven't been connected to social media like that, I'm sure that there's a lot of comedians who have probably sent their praises and well wishes and given their respect. Because I do think comedy is one of those types of arenas where there is a high deal of respect for someone, especially someone like a Paul Mooney. So, but just in the overall like mainstream media. But again, who was he getting at? White folks.
Right.
So I mean, they're not gonna really go out their way to give him the flowers. But as far as our people go in the comic space, I feel like a good deal of people gave him his flowers.
Yeah, he's definitely up there as far as trailblazing and just pushing boundaries. He was infamous for having people walk out of his shows.
Well, the thing was he didn't hold his tongue.
Yeah.
He didn't hold his tongue, and even in a time where you couldn't hold your tongue, to a time even now where they you say, if you don't say the right thing, they try to get you up out of here. But it's just something that's always, I think it's always helped or worked for him, even just being a comedian, but just as an individual. I mean, he pulled no punches, and like I said, it's not. It's kind of, I mean, it's, now that I'm thinking about what you asked me, it is a little bit, I think some of the responses have been underwhelming in terms of overall, considering his contribution to comedy. Yeah. When there's a lot of people who are going to put certain people over him in the comedy, and I'm not going to put nobody's names out there to air them out or nothing like that, but Paul Mooney is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best comedians who's ever graced this earth, not just from stand-up, but just, like I said, as a writer, as a creator, and he will be missed. He will be missed for sure. So, but yeah, definitely wanted to lead off with that and just show our respects to the late, great Paul Mooney. Rest in peace, sir. Thank you for everything that you've given to us. And, yeah, man, that kind of came and went, man. So that's how I was thinking about. I'm like, man, I feel like I haven't seen this on the news or nothing. The only reason why I even heard about it was because, the Google feed, like on your phone, it just popped up on my feed. Yeah. But I didn't really see it on CNN or nothing. They put an article out on their app, but as far as I'm like putting it all over the thing, I just didn't see it. Like I said, like I said, for me, the reason that would be is because, he wasn't exactly making. He wasn't making the stuff for. Yeah, that people can white people can't tell us their favorite Paul Mooney joke. It's kind of messed up though, because they can tell us their favorite Dave Chappelle joke, and Dave Chappelle be getting on them too. But it's a different. Dave Chappelle is getting at most liberal white people. Not to say he's not getting at conservatives, but there's enough white people who have embraced what he's done through the Chappelle show that they let him cook. That's true. They let him cook. But a nigga like Paul Mooney, they walk out on, which is so funny. So imagine Dave Chappelle doing a set in front of these white folks, and then Paul Mooney coming right after that. They would probably clap for Dave and probably boo for Paul. I think a big part of it was the time periods too. That's what I'm saying. Time period is a huge. The audience that Paul Mooney was talking to was some different type of white folk. So, it's really, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But, yeah, man. So we gonna move on. Any new music, Ben? Get off of social media. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing right now? What are we doing? So,
wow.
Our video guy just walked in here and gave us. There's been some ongoing incidences that we can't speak on, unfortunately, because of possible pending legal matters.
Wow. But, it never ends.
I don't even know if I should say anything after that.
All
right. So,
all right, man. What's
any music you stumbled upon? Anything new?
Nah, I've been looking at like a bunch of YouTube videos. Do you ever look at those GQ videos of the top 10 things people can live out?
I've seen some of them. I mean, they're kind of intriguing, but
it depends on the guest with me.
Yeah, I've seen some of the things, but I don't really.
You know who you should watch though? Vince Staples.
I think I did see that one.
That was a funny one.
Yeah, but he's a funny person, so that's really why I watched it. But
he should really get into comedy, dude. I don't know, like he ain't giving us no damn music, so
he had that the show thing he was doing, and I don't know what happened with that.
Oh yeah, the thing he was using to roll out his music.
Yeah,
and he fooled everybody, and then he disappeared again.
Yeah,
and then came back wearing the Dior sweater, saying, "I can't live without this."
Yeah, so it's yeah. So I mean, I've watched some of them, but not a ton of them.
I saw his Young Dolph did one too. I like Young Dolph's music, so honestly, it just depends. I only watch him if I like follow that person.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it ain't really, it's really so I don't really care what they have. It's just if I like the person, then
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I'm intrigued to watch the video. So
I liked Young Dolph's. His wasn't that funny, but I think I just like his persona, if that makes sense.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it ain't really about what they got. It's just the person. You invested in the person, so it's you know, it is what it is. Now I've heard a couple of singles here and there. I know that they put out a song from the Space Jam soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
With
was it Lil Baby?
Lil Baby and Kirk Franklin, produced by Just Blaze. And I never thought a day.
That sounds fire.
I never thought of a day where I would hear Lil Baby on a Just Blaze beat
with Kirk Franklin.
And the choir.
Oh,
because
man.
Kirk Franklin brings a choir
everywhere. That man brings choir to the grocery store.
Yeah, y'all tried to get Kirk Franklin out of the paint earlier this year.
Didn't work. That man on the Space Jam soundtrack
wasn't going to work. Even before that, we rise with Kirk. That's number one. But I'm gonna say this, bro. Song is fire.
Yeah, that sounds like a fire combination.
Song is fire. I don't know if people who are so used or so hell bent on hearing him doing trap beats will appreciate it. But for someone who is in a, you know, rappers usually get a critique about. It's kind of the same thing that J. Cole got before this last album. You know, you stuck with this. You know, why you producing your own stuff? Get with other producers. Get with other sounds. Stop. Basically get out of your comfort zone.
Right.
I feel like this may have been a very uncomfortable zone for Lil Baby to be in, but he held his own and then some. It's a really good song, I think, that meshes in a style of Just Blaze with Kirk Franklin. Like, none of these dudes really gave up nothing to be on the song. None of them had to bend to anyone's will. They just all came on the song, and it was almost like Voltron.
I'm all for a hip hop song with choirs too.
So I just don't understand. That's one thing that really.
That's like the secret weapon to hip hop songs.
People who don't. There's a thing that I have for people who don't either like live instruments or choirs. Now, if the choir is bad or the music, if the instruments, if they can't play, that's different. But like a great choir on a song, if you don't like that, you don't have.
There's something wrong.
You don't have no soul, bro. You need therapy.
Majority of the time, the song with the choir is always the best song on the album. It majority of the time. I think I maybe seen it fail once.
At the very least, you could say I'm not in the mood for choir right now. But you can't hate on no choir. You could be like, I'm not really in a choir mood right now. But you could say, they sound great. They sound awesome. But I'm just not in the choir mood.
Like, you remember the first time you heard War Baby, Roddy Ricch, and then the choir you just heard him creeping? Woo. I was like, come on, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like, come on. How you not like it?
I just gotta wonder sometimes with these, like, what do y'all consider sounds? Like, y'all love all these synths and bullshit, but when actual vocals
Yeah.
on you know what I mean, get laid and mixed and mastered and crafted beautifully on a song, niggas have a problem with it. But
And that's not easy too, bro. Like, it's not easy to perform it. Even to catch live instruments, like, that's just not easy.
oh, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm getting at. So, but yeah, that was a really good song that I heard. To be honest, I didn't really tap into too much else, music wise, because I don't know if we should get into it later or now. But I'm a little upset. Not upset, but I wish you would know what was going on with this Kwame Brown situation, because he's cooking.
I'm gonna look into it.
He's cooking a lot of niggas. Let me just say that right now.
It sounds like it's overdue from what it sounded like.
Yes. He's been festering on some shit for. Matter of fact, fuck it. I ain't heard nothing else music wise, so we can just go ahead and I'll just
Kwame Brown ether Charlemagne the God.
He ethering everybody anybody who ever you ever seen Paid in Full?
Wait, he went at his side chicks too? Oh, I gotta look at this.
He said you ever seen Paid in Full where Mitch was like, anybody who even looked at me wrong owes me money? That's where Kwame's at right now. I'm on some real murder shit, B. that's where Kwame Brown's at right now. So for the listening audience who don't know what's going on, Kwame Brown has resurfaced seemingly out of nowhere after there was an episode of All the Smoke podcast, which is Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson's podcast, on Showtime, or with Showtime. They had Gilbert Arenas on there. Kwame Brown came up in a conversation. To be honest with you, I don't really recall anything they said that was really like inflammatory. Maybe a slight joke here and there, but Kwame mentions a specific part where Matt Barnes is slapping Steven Jackson's knee like on some funny shit, and he did not like that. So Kwame Brown is basically, he started with them. He started getting at Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. Then this gains traction over to the Breakfast Club. Charlemagne brings up the incident, what's happening, and of course he tries to use, for some reason he decides to bring up the fact that Kwame Brown's father was a murderer, as well as his brother, who Kwame Brown didn't even know, because his father apparently had a child out of wedlock, which is the brother that he never even really knew. So I don't know if Charlemagne tried to bring that shit up to say that he was in some sort of trauma, like he's basically like he was hurt or something like that, or he's dealing with some sort of trauma. I don't know. I don't even know why the fuck he brought the dude's family up. But to me, that was the gates of hell opening up.
Yeah,
because you can call Kwame Brown a bust if you want. Keep it up if you want to talk about his basketball career. Cool, fine. But you bring up the dude's family, then yeah, he ain't let up on Charlemagne since, and I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't got no problem with it. And the thing I think the reason that people are gravitating towards Kwame Brown is because for the past 20 years, he's been the butt of just about any bust joke, NBA joke, and he's just taking this shit like a G for the last 20 years.
That's true.
And the man got a right to be like, yo, enough's enough. I can speak my piece now. I've been letting y'all get y'all shit off for the past 2 decades. So people are like, yo, where was all this energy when he was in the man? Fuck all that. He got it now. What's up? he got it.
I bet none of y'all will see him.
he got it now. So, and what's interesting is, even though he's cooking people, he's cooking a lot of people. He's also speaking about different elements of the media that we talk about all the time, how media spins things and how media characterizes people in a certain light, especially if they speak out, especially if they have a voice and they speak the same way. If you look at it like a LeVar Ball, they try to say that he was, because he talked a lot and his kids didn't, they try to say, oh, he's a controlling parent. They made him into, oh, does this kid even talk? Does the kid, you know what I'm saying? So he's basically kind of just been picking at or getting at members of the sports media who, and for him, he says, who speak ill of black men or black athletes in a negative light, and who try to paint them a certain way when they don't behave within basically when they don't color within the lines.
Okay.
So that's the crux of where he's getting at with a lot of these people is, why y'all saying I chose violence? I'm not angry. Why y'all saying I'm angry? Why y'all saying I chose violence? Like, why y'all? He's like, y'all using these buzzwords to try to illustrate me in a certain light because I'm saying something now. Y'all been saying something for 20 years and no one ever said that y'all was being a bully or nothing like that. But so, hey, I fucks with it. I'm with him.
That boy about to get a podcast.
I'm with him. His subscribers. I don't know about Instagram, but I know he's over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I think he didn't even have half of that last week.
Yeah, he about to blow.
So, yeah. So the short version is within a lot of what he's saying, he's basically kind of illustrating that, because I don't think people are just I just don't think a lot of people are used to, especially a black dude, just standing up for himself.
Yeah.
So because a black dude decides to stand up for himself and not tuck his tail and not be docile, he got to be crazy or he got to be angry or hurt or violent, just for basically niggas been going at him. So how come he can't go back? You feel what I'm saying? So I'm with him.
Nobody knew we needed Kwame Brown in 2021.
Listen, bro.
Nobody knew.
But that's what it's just so fascinating. It's fascinating because, and the other thing, he's like, yo, don't try to ask me to get on no show now. Because now he's got, like, Charlamagne's like, yo, come on the Breakfast Club. And they're like, no, just come on the podcast. No, nigga, no, come on the... No.
I ain't boosting your ratings, nigga.
And it's like, yo, y'all had 20 years to ask me to get on some shit. He's like, yo, he's like, for the past 20 years, people have either been talking about me or for me and never asked me shit. They never asked him to get on anything. They just talked and said and spoke for him on his behalf. So don't ask him now to get on no show and then now, let's hear your side of it. No, y'all wasn't interested in hearing my side before. Yeah. Y'all gonna hear it through my medium. Now I'm not going on your show. Y'all gonna hear it the way I'm gonna give it out.
Y'all gonna hear it through the Kwame Brown show.
So he been on YouTube cooking. He cook a lot though. I can't get all the meals. But
I just saw the thing about the side chicken. I'm like, wait,
I can't get all.
This man been really been going in, huh?
I can't get everything. I can't get everything he been talking about. But he did big up LeVar Ball for basically like I just told you. He's like, yo, you put 3 boys in professional sports, 2 of them in the league, and they try to call you a crazy dude.
That's a good point.
Oh, we not even gonna get into other shit. Are you familiar with the what's the fuck is the name of the league? They're making a high school league here. So basically, high school players can forego their basketball season at school, play for this league, and get paid. The same shit LeVar Ball was doing with the Junior Basketball Association. There's a league that they're building a big ass stadium here in Atlanta it's called Operation Elite or something like that. They already signed 2 kids from Florida to play in the league. It's going to be about 30. I think it's going to be like about 30 kids or 30. I don't know the size of the teams, but it's the same concept that the ball had that they said he was stupid for doing.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
Now they're making another. They're basically doing that version of that.
And they're basing it out of here?
They have a stadium that's going to be here. Yeah.
Huh. So.
Yeah, definitely. As a matter of fact, we'll tap into that a little bit later. But that's the thing. Everything they call LeVar Ball. And you can say what you want about. You can criticize maybe the quality of the big baller brand, the shoes and all that shit. But they called him crazy because he didn't run his ass to Nike to try to get a deal for his kid. He tried to get his own shit off. Mm-hmm. But that is his main point. Anytime a black dude try to color outside the lines, he crazy. He angry. He's controlling. Because they used to niggas just shutting up and go like Stephen A. Smith. He yells as loud as he want at niggas. But when something happened with a woman or with a white person, he don't really jump off like that.
Yeah, he don't.
He got a lot of smoke for people he's allowed. He got smoke for people he's allowed to have smoke with. Basically. Which is probably I'm pretty sure ESPN told him, yo, don't go at Kwame.
You know he wants to.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
he want to say something.
You know he
but his bosses told him, "Don't do it, bro.
He gonna lose that battle.
He ain't had no problem going. That's what I'm saying because they know they don't want to get tangled into that.
Yeah.
Because he didn't just bring up Stephen A. Smith. He didn't just bring up Steve Bettis. He brought up Rachel Nichols. He brought up
you say he brought up Wilbon too, right?
Michael Wilbon.
Yeah.
The only person that he was rocking with was Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose, I don't know if you remember, there's the segment that was on First Take at the time he was on there, and this is back when Skip Bayless was with ESPN.
Okay.
Where him and Stephen A. Smith were arguing whether or not Kwame Brown was a bust. In the midst of them continuing to cut Jalen Rose off, Jalen Rose, who mind you, who actually was in the fucking league, whose opinion might have a lot more merit than two niggas who ain't never stepped foot on the NBA court, is telling you that a man that played for 12 years
ain't a bust.
Can't be no bust.
You know how hard it is to stay in any league?
And apparently, because teams signed him, owners and GMs sought after his talent. Make it make sense. Now, you can say he underperformed. You can say, yes, as the number one draft pick, he did not live up to the expectations. But it's just very hard. And even if you're gonna call him a bust, even if you're gonna go with that route, I ain't never heard niggas shit on Ryan Leaf. Who was supposed to be better than Peyton Manning.
For San Diego. Right?
He was supposed to be better than Peyton Manning, and post-career has been stealing laptops and has had a shitty life after NFL. I don't hear no Ryan Leaf jokes.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
I don't hear no Darko Milicic jokes. Yeah. Michael Jordan also drafted Adam Morrison, who also underperformed. I don't hear niggas getting at Adam Morrison. That's his point. All these jokes always circle back to him. So even if you want to call him a bust, he ain't even the worst nigga. He ain't even the worst, or the most underperforming. That's another thing.
We've seen worse.
Because we got to move away from that shit too.
We've seen way worse.
You feel what I'm saying? Anthony Bennett. Cavs drafted him a few years ago.
Yep.
He not even in the league no more. So, even if you're gonna say, well, Kwame, I still fuck all that. Kwame a bust. Talk about another nigga. Y'all ain't saying nothing else about none of the other people. Hell, even Jamarcus Russell, who fucking stole from the fucking Raiders.
Ooh, Jamarcus Russell.
He don't even get the type of smoke that Kwame get. And you would say that his is more warranted. I read one story about Jamarcus Russell that said they gave him a blank playbook.
I remember that.
They gave him a blank playbook, and he came back the next day talking about,
I know the plays. I remember that.
That nigga was stealing.
I remember that.
That nigga, Jamarcus Russell was a thief, and that's different. So, the other part of that is, now that we're into it, there were rumors, and I think Kwame is he's gone against some of the rumors saying that Michael Jordan broke his confidence, and they shit on him, stuff like that. But again, that was something that no one ever asked him. They always just ran with the fact that, Michael Jordan basically shitted on him and broke his confidence, and so I think that's the thing. Like these so-called media basketball analysts that don't analyze shit, they just go with a narrative and run with it,
which is really unprofessional.
Come on, man, we passed that. It's been about rating.
Skip Bayless
is the worst thing.
Skip Bayless made it.
Skip Bayless is the worst thing that happened to sports media. Bro.
You're right.
If we gonna keep it a bean.
You're absolutely right about that.
Niggas don't know shit about sports. Let me tell you right now.
They let a comedian in.
Niggas halfway like Stephen A. Smith in the basketball and the football arena. Niggas hate him in baseball and UFC. They talked about baseball the other day, and I'll say this and we can move on from this shit. But he brought up some player, and he made a stat. The player had like this insane stat. Like he's been killing it. But I guess because the team is under 500, Stephen A. tried to poo-poo it like it wasn't a big deal. And I was like, bro, you fucking idiot. Stop talking baseball. And like baseball niggas was just killing this dude.
Rightfully so.
Same thing with UFC. He had like him and Joe Rogan went back and forth. Again, Joe Rogan, who knows way more about UFC than you do, nigga. This is the thing. Like you argue with niggas, you argue with people who are way more like him arguing with Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose, who's played in the league, who probably knows how hard it is to keep a job in professional sports. It's telling you that, yo, this dude kept a job for a decade in professional sports.
And y'all shitting on him.
Yeah, man. So I'm pro Kwame. He getting at a lot of these media niggas. He's shaking a lot of trees.
That man Kwame about to get a deal.
He's shaking a lot of trees. He get with the right people. Because again, he still got to go and get, because the media is a machine. So he's still going to fight against that machine. But he get the right people with him to help him really cultivate that. Because right now he's just on YouTube, and if niggas decide to go to YouTube and strike his shit, They'll do it
because now he has the interest. People gonna be like, well, what do you think about this now? Like, because I think that's the thing.
Well, he'll be able to tell his side. He'll be able to tell the truth without, because he's like, yo, that's the thing. Y'all want to give opinions and don't have no other intake that, or somebody that could pressure on the shit.
Right.
So, yeah, man. So I'm
it sound lit. It sound like absolutely.
I was surprised. I was like, bro, you know, I'm like, bro, this.
I normally keep my ear to the streets too.
This shit been on fire like the whole week. This shit has been on fire the whole week. So yeah, I fucks with Kwame. So
has any sports media talked about it? Anyone? Yeah.
And like, they touching it from, like I said, they spinning it from the he's sensitive because they're making fun of him being a bust. He called out Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Okay. He said, man, fuck Chris Broussard.
He said
I've never liked Chris Broussard.
He said Rob Parker had a big ass nose, some shit like that. He called out Rob Parker. Rob Parker doubled down on him being a bust. But like I said, if that's how you feel about, if you think Kwame Brown's a bust, all right, whatever. But the man is speaking his piece, and you got to have something. To me, you got to come up with something better than he's hurt.
Yeah.
That's what happens. See, that's well, we not finna see. You don't want me potting, bro.
What?
You ever talk to a girl and you start getting your shit off, and all of a sudden you hurt? Who hurt you? Now it's who hurt you.
Yeah.
Because you ain't kissing their ass. It's the same shit. He not kissing the ass of the media. Now it's who hurt you.
Yeah.
And that's all the media's response has been. They've done their spin moves. He's hurt. He's trauma. He may have some issues at home. He's lashing out. That's been the media's response, more or less.
Who got it? So Charlamagne got the doors out of everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he brought the nigga.
He brought the family up.
You can't talk. You speak about a nigga family. Yeah, that's all bets are off. And Charlamagne a pussy for doing that because he knew he did that probably on purpose, knowing that would get that out of him. You the same nigga that get to make a donkey of the day for people, and then want to try to do a cease and desist when niggas try to pull your file. Because he brought up that shit with the Spanish fly shit.
I remember that.
So Kwame brought that shit up. That since we want to talk, let's talk. Now Charlamagne want to do a cease and desist. No, fuck that.
That was that the rape allegation thing? Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Shit that cost him his HBO gig.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. He says, "We want to talk." So he said, "We just joking, right?" That's what he said. Like, yo, I thought we were just joking. So, yeah. Yeah, but
hey, y'all got they messed up. They got the right one now.
Got the right. You gotta, because you done said everything you can say about the dude.
Yeah, this is 2 decades of build up. That's the thing.
You done said, and then it may not even be that. It just may be like,
not like he built it. I'm saying like,
oh yeah,
they've done it for so long, and exactly. Without getting his side. That
one way aggression. Yeah,
it's such a fresh take that y'all can't like. I mean, unless they do take down his videos from YouTube.
But I think that's the big problem with media as a whole. People can say whatever the fuck they want about people, and then the person's not supposed to respond back. Because they basically teach you, they basically put in our head that you're supposed to take the high road, you're supposed to be above stuff. If you respond to it, just because I respond to something, don't make me weak. I can speak my piece. Now, and if I choose to press you about it, I can press you about it. You don't get to talk greasy and talk spicy, and then when shit get really hot, you want to chill, bro. Chill, man. So now niggas telling Kwame to chill. Ain't nobody telling nobody else to chill.
Kwame ain't gonna chill.
No, he not.
The smart thing to do would be to keep going.
Keep doing what the fuck he doing.
Keep going.
And he got, like I said, he got some people that's with him. He got some people that he's caught their attention. Like I said, he just got to get with the right group of people, especially in media, which is hard when the media tends to lean one way. So there's videos that stem back to, honestly, he been talking a lot of this shit for a while. There's videos that stem back to when Ice Cube was trying to do the shit with the bill, the Black America contract. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Why y'all calling this man a coon?"
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So Kwame kind of been on some shit like this where he's like, "Yo, bro, y'all coming at this man because he's trying to do some shit. He's trying to." So
that man about to get a deal.
Yeah, he's
about to get a deal.
He's been kind of festering he's been kind of like in the, low key for a while, but he's been challenging a lot of like the ideas of independent thought, the ideas of like, yo, niggas, because we black, we just supposed to all think the same bullshit and just go the same way. which is the same thing. It's the same thing the media does. Like I said, the same thing as us black people. If we don't think the way that most black people do, we coons, we sellouts, we all this other bullshit. We all this.
Yeah.
Oh, side note, Umar gambling with y'all donation money.
Ooh.
Umar Johnson.
Who's up? Oh yeah, the doctor guy.
Doctor guy, yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
You don't know Umar? You don't know Umar, man? You don't know Umar?
I just remember. I haven't heard his name in a while.
Well, yeah, it's because he out there he had the slot machine playing with your donation money, just for the record.
What if you like see somebody who had a GoFundMe, and then you see him like on a yacht somewhere, and you like shit.
That's what you get.
Remember everybody got stuck in Atlanta for All-Star Weekend, and they were making a GoFundMe page.
Help me! I need $500 to get out the city. Nah, bitch, you was coming out here to hit a lick. Guess what? Nah, but yeah, that's nothing to do with nothing. But nah, man, I'm with Kwame. I'm with anybody. I'm with any dude who. Let me ask you this. Because let's pivot into something else with that. Do you feel like there's a space in media for black masculine men that can really like voice their opinions?
There isn't a space in media for any masculine man.
I'm saying specifically.
Oh no, of course not. There isn't even one for white men.
Well, not anymore. But
Yeah,
there's no
such thing.
There's talks about a person like Kwame Brown.
It was Clubhouse.
Really?
I mean, that's like the closest thing you could probably get.
Oh, man, please.
Clubhouse.
You gotta get an invite to a group to talk about something. I knew that shit was trash from the go. Clubhouse came and went. We gotta talk about the rise and fall of Clubhouse.
That shit lasted like what, 3 months?
Niggas like, y'all brokies can't get an ad. Bitch,
I'm charging $300 for my invite.
Yeah.
Shut up, nigga.
That's a PPP scam. That's a PPP hustle.
Hey, somebody came up quick off that app.
Niggas really bought an iPhone to get on the app, and now it's gone.
Remember all the celebrities were having like little sessions on it. Hey, didn't Joe Budden do one? Yeah, man.
I just heard rappers get on there and start arguing with each other about bullshit.
That's right. Meek Mill. Remember Meek Mill?
Meek was yelling at academics. It was one. I saw one where it was 21 Savage, Southside, some girls. They was arguing about a livable wage. Something about living in Atlanta. And some girl would really fix her mouth and said, you can live off of $800 a month in Atlanta. I said, where?
Huh?
Something to that effect.
You can't even live off anywhere in America over there.
But I was like, yo, your math ain't even right. I said, number one, if you go to a rental place or making, what was it? Making X amount a month. But the problem is most places here, you already got to make 3 times the rent to even be there. So your math ain't even right to begin with. But that was neither here nor there.
They killed her, didn't they?
No, some of them dumbass motherfuckers was like, yeah, because in California, blah, blah, blah. We not talking about California.
Cali?
We not talking about California.
Even more expensive than Atlanta.
What the fuck are you guys talking about? So that's told me everything I need to know about Clubhouse. Like, yeah, this ain't that for me. I thought these niggas were gonna be in here like really trying to build some shit. Nah. They were just basically.
Y'all niggas don't even read.
Basically just audible Twitter. Like, yo, that's like, yeah, this ain't that for me. So nothing about after that. Nothing really about Clubhouse. And I'm sure people gonna say, you just don't know the right people who are. And that's probably true. There probably was some people who were really out here building and putting some shit together.
But we ain't see them niggas, so we don't care.
So
we don't care.
So fuck them. So
what were you about to say? Is there an app? Is there a space?
I mean, I guess you answered the question already, but I think that's what. And I don't know if you're familiar with like the manosphere and the black manosphere and all this other shit, where these dudes be, which I don't know if that's like the perfect space because, are you familiar with like the whole red pill, blue pill shit as far as like the
Matrix?
Well, that's the concept, but they use it like basically. The red pill is supposed to be an understanding of female nature, and if there's someone would be considered like a red pill guy, basically meaning like they have a understanding of female nature, so they don't do things like simp or trick or nothing like that, as opposed to like a blue pill guy who is typically associated at the simp, at the trick, or they kind of pander to women
Okay.
type of deal. So that's like the whole, you know, to be honest, I'm not really a fan of any of the pill shit.
Yeah, that's too simplified.
I just feel like just as a man, there's just it's not a pill to it. It's as a man, I think there's just certain things you learn about yourself. Number one, and I think a lot of these groups are too women centric. Like they's like, yo, how to deal with women, how to, you know, how to level up so you can have any woman you want or something like that. Like that's not.
Yeah.
Niggas should never do nothing over a woman. The man, first of all, you should do it for yourself.
Exactly.
So, but that's neither here nor there.
And if you're gonna do it over a woman, at least do it with the woman that's gonna. If like the woman pushes you towards it, that's different. But if you trying to like base your whole life just to get, it's like if she's motivating you to get to that point, that's one thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, like if you're with her and she's like, "Hey, maybe we should try this," that's different. But just for you to sit here and say, "Oh man, I want to level up so I can get any girl I want," yeah, no, nigga, that's not. That's no.
That's dumb.
That's stupid.
Yeah, Derrick Jackson told y'all. Derrick Jackson fooled all you niggas. It's like a hood Derrick Jackson that's going around now. It's like a Derrick Jackson 2.0. He basically he going on. He's like real aggressive with it too. You done DM'd her, ain't sent her no cash app, ain't booked her no trip to Jamaica. I'm like, okay, nigga, calm down. Like, it's like we get it. Like, bro, it's almost like it's a character at this point. Like these niggas is like pandering and it's almost comedic.
Who would have thought that you would get looked down upon for not buying a girl a Dior bag?
Who would have thought that you would get looked down upon for not buying a girl that you don't really know anything?
Like
oh, the shame of it all. Oh,
I don't get this.
You're a brokey because I want to get to know who the fuck you are before I decide to invest.
You should be happy I even cook for you.
And I know Tory Lanez is in a hot seat as of late, but he said something that was real profound on, I think it was a Joe Budden pull up. When the girl said buy him a bag, he's like, wait a minute, I thought you was up.
Hold up.
I thought you was up.
Hey.
So
that's the thing, man. It's like,
and it just goes to show you that when women have money, they basically just says, yeah, I got my money, but not. Of course, this is not all women, but I got my money, but I would rather spend your money. So
it's Kardesh. He said, "I thought you were up."
I thought you was up.
Hey, they not ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't want this to turn into that type of podcast. But I think there does need to be a space, especially like, and I just say black men. Not that white men don't have the similar issues, I guess, but I don't know what white men be dealing with their women, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, but I just think that if we got situations where dudes, like where men who actually stand up for themselves and don't shut the fuck up, call crazy and shit, that's a problem. Yeah. I think people got to get used to dudes speaking their mind now. Like I think that's what's hurt us for a long time is that we just internalize everything. We don't say shit. We just take the lumps and go with it.
Yeah.
So now that we actually speaking our piece now, that needs to be the norm. People need to get used to people like Kwame Brown and people who, like I said, and I say black men because, like I said, that the first thing they try to do when we say something and we, you get a LeVar Ball who bets on his kids, who talks,
and what's wrong with
God
that?
Forbid having confidence in your children.
Yeah, there's
Jesus
nothing wrong.
Christ.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
And because he has the utmost confidence in his children, he's setting them up for failure. That's stupid.
Did he put a target on Alonzo's head? Yeah, maybe, but there's nothing wrong with it.
but okay, he did that, but ultimately,
also look how Alonzo turned out.
Look at the end result.
Look where he turned out.
Look at the end result. The man got his kids, all three of his kids really, but all three of his kids in professional sports. Mm-hmm. 2 of his children in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Which, in my worldview, that's generational wealth.
That's success.
That's success. That's a father.
That's success.
So, because he's not this whole docile thing, man. I understand that as men, we have to have a certain level of we have to have a certain level of control when we say stuff and have our emotions. I'm not gonna say suppressed because that's not a good term, but just we have to be able to handle our emotions in a more
compartmentalized.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna kill a dude for having faith in his kids.
No,
I'm not gonna kill a dude for having, you know what I'm saying. So that's what I think is yeah. So that's what I think that Kwame is ultimately trying to do, is to shake up, because this needs to be shaken up. This whole go with the flow shit. You just, if you ain't on board with what the populace believes, that shit got to go. And with the fall of cancel culture, I think, in a lot of degrees. Oh, they did get Ellen up out of here though. She gone. She not doing her show anymore.
Yeah, but she's not going anywhere.
I mean, she not. When I say
her celebrity's too big.
But
you mean like they got the show out of there?
She said she's not doing the show because she said she needed another challenge. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But she not. I mean, I don't think white women can ever really be canceled.
Especially not Ellen.
Yeah.
Ellen's not going anywhere.
Especially with the gang. With the gang. But yeah, she not. She'll be all right. But yeah, man. So,
90% of people can't cook. So if I don't buy you a bag, but I cook you dinner, you should be happy.
They'd rather have the meal at a restaurant where they could put it on Snapchat.
What if I cook better than the restaurant?
It don't matter.
Like
they can't tag your house. They can tag the restaurant.
They can't tag. Yeah, that's true.
And which reminds me, these sugar daddy dudes are saying enough is enough. You posting the plate. Nah, put that fucking camera up.
Put that camera up, nigga.
Post the purchaser.
Yeah, that's I mean,
hey, my man. It was a girl at a restaurant. My man was like, "This here, you."
you think the sugar daddy era slowly is about to come to? It's gonna be slow. It's gonna be like a slow and graceful fall.
Well, a lot of the sugar daddies now, it's just a lot of these women they don't want to. Let me see. I can't speak for the sugar babies of the world.
Before you do that, I will say this. I don't even know if this is like an America thing, because I think because we live in Atlanta, we just see it so much. For all we know, they maybe they're not doing this shit in Montana, or maybe they are. That's the thing. Like, it's so hard to gauge the rest of the world when you live in Atlanta, because I feel like Atlanta really just be its own universe. Atlanta, New York, LA, it's like it's its own universe.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we're kind of insulated in a lot of respects. So a lot of the things that happen here, hell, they may not be happening in smaller cities and stuff like that.
You probably got really hard-working women out there. But
they do though. That's the thing. There are. I mean, that's one of the things I will say about Atlanta. When I moved here, it's a lot of women that's getting to it. There's a lot of women that's getting to the bag, and they making a career for themselves, either in the career space or as a business owners. Makeup, realtors, OnlyFans, kidding. But, there are a lot of women out here, that'd be my gripe with a lot of the women empowerment, just be like a lot of like hypersexualized stuff. It don't really highlight a lot of like the working women and the lawyers and the doctors. And
I agree.
You feel what I'm saying?
I do agree there.
So I think there's just There's a black woman who was the first the TDAA CEO, and that story came and went, like a Fortune 50 company, and I'm like, yo, and she's not like no, I don't need a man for shit woman. She got a husband at home. She got a husband, kids, a family. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, this is a good represent. And I really apologize that I don't have her name off the top of my head, but I remember that story, and it just was like, dang, this is
Remember when all of you women wanted Birkin bags? Remember that? What happened? Who started that? Was that Sweetie and Quavo? That's what it was.
That was Sweetie and Quavo, God. And then
the Birkin bag thing. Ooh, I was like, are y'all crazy?
So yeah, all right, so here we go. So the Fortune 500 has 2 black women CEOs, which is not nearly enough, but like I said, these are the types of things that we should be trying to look at as excellence, and just not, I think just hypersexuality as a whole has ruined the relationship aspect of people, and people don't want to they're not looking to get married the same way, they're not looking to who want to start families. A lot of women out here don't want to have children. A lot of women, you know what I'm saying? Let me not just say women, a lot of people don't want to have children. They don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's true. I was actually listening to a podcast about how the population growth is slow, and how we're probably gonna be fucked when we get old.
And I think not all of it, but I think some of it have to deal with like, yo, either they're reluctant to raise a child in this type of society, or they see their life as like, yo, I'm just so busy, you know, and they put this added stress on themselves, like, yo, how on earth can I be a capable parent, and I'm, you know, business owner working 20-hour days, and you know, so it's like it's just a lot of sacrifice that comes with that, and not that they're not capable of doing it, but I think that sometimes people especially people who have a high level of expectations they put on themselves, they would look at parenting as like, yo, every single thing they do would be like the end of the world. Even though as I imagine as parents, you know, you're going to make a mistake at some point because you don't know. Doesn't make you a bad parent, but I think sometimes that's the type of pressure that people put on themselves. But
I also think social media plays a big role, because I remember like there was like a little period of time where women were coming out and we're talking about how like, oh, I sometimes wish that I didn't become a mom and this, and I don't know if you remember that little time period, but it's a lot of little weird things that go into that.
I think some of the that's what I'm saying. I think because a lot of women who are more, because you know women are obviously working way more, and like I said, not even just working, but they're in a lot of leadership roles. They're owners. They're in a lot of places that are typically masculine, right? So I feel like because they have to be like when you're in certain spaces, especially in business. With business, you have to kind of be shrewd. You have to be very, very blunt, very, very direct. Not really go along to get along, because you'll get ate up that way. So I think sometimes it's hard to shut that off when you go home. And I think when you're a mom, you know, you tend to want to be more of a nurturer to your children. And don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying women are not capable of doing it, because I think a lot of them are. But I think the way that men can compartmentalize things, as far as like how we have to kind of just, you know, we got to provide for a family. We just do the job. Yeah. We can complain about how stressed out we are at time to time, but typically we just accept that that's just the nature of the business that comes with being the provider of the family. Right. So we just kind of roll with the punches. But I think a lot of times with women, they are capable of doing it. It's just that if you ask them if they had a choice, if they would rather not have to do it, most of them are gonna say yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but that's just the reality. Most of them will say, I would rather not have to, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't make your kid a burden. Like I think that's like the thing. I mean, a lot of people want to do other shit. It's just that I don't. But having a kid doesn't necessarily ruin your life. You might have to make some adjustments. You might have to figure some more stuff out. But I mean,
well, I think that's the thing too. I think sometimes you work yourself so hard into finally getting a routine that works for you, that you know a child would disrupt that. And again, it's just like a practical view of being a parent that I think a lot of women years ago would not have looked at, because they weren't working as much.
Yeah, it is a different time now.
So that's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying I'm not saying they don't want to be moms, stuff like that. But some of them just look at it from a different optic, because for some of them, they are probably going to be the providers. Like I said, because just people are not. It's like now, you know, people are open to being. People are even with not wanting to be a parent. People would rather be a parent before they become a husband and wife. So, which I think is putting the cart before the horse. But I don't know, man. I don't know how we walked into this one, but
Kwame.
Yeah.
Goddamn Kwame.
So, side note, I did watch the newest release on Netflix from Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah, the
Army of the Dead.
Why have people been anticipating this so much? I don't get this.
I personally am not sure.
Like I've been seeing like all this hype, and I'm like, why are people so excited about this movie? I don't get it.
Maybe because Zack got some momentum creeping from the Justice League, and he has done. What he did? Dawn of the Dead.
I don't know.
Oh, so I believe he did. I believe he has done previous zombie movies and stuff like that. So
okay,
and Zack Snyder. So I think his name is going to be So I think there's been some anticipation for this film.
Who would have thought you would get hyped from an unreleased film?
I mean, it happens.
That's wild.
So, stars Dave Bautista and some other people. The only other person I recognized was the dude that played Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, and Amari Hardwick, who of course everyone knows played Ghost in Power. But it's a pretty decent film without giving away too much of the sauce. Could be possible spoilers for the listeners, just FYI. But basically, Batista's given a job where he can make some money by the dude who plays Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. He has to go to Las Vegas, which has been overrun by zombies, to collect this money. Guy says, hey, you get the money, and we'll give you a cut of it, and you can assemble your team. Whoever you want to get on your team to get it with you, you can just split it amongst them. So he asked him to get $500 million. He said, I'll give you $50 million, and you can split it up between the group that you got. What's interesting about the movie is it kind of gives somewhat of a different take on. Yeah, that's the guy. Somewhat of a different take on.
I see why you say that now.
Yeah. Somewhat. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't think
Hero. You. Oh jeez.
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, but so it kind of gives a somewhat of a different take on the zombies. Like they're not all mindless. Some of them, some of what they do is they have kind of like an agreement with humans somewhat. So like if you, for example, they ended up, what they did was they were the scene where they shot this guy in the leg and they kind of offered him to the zombies. So like two of the zombies came out, who I guess would be seen as like the king and the queen, I guess, if you will. Mm-hmm. They took the dude's offering, basically as an exchange of that. Yeah, we'll let y'all roam around and leave it the fuck alone, more or less. Mm. So then, as they're roaming, some shit happens, some shit pops off, and then all shit goes haywire. But some of the zombies are like they can like dodge shit. Like there was one scene where the dude was trying to shoot one of them, and he was just like, oh. Hey, he was moving, bro. So there was some level of intelligence. One of them knew the main one had like a helmet to cover his head for like headshots. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yo, this dude's kind of smart. Dude's kind of.
So
and he shed a tear. And a zombie shed a tear in this bitch. I'm not gonna tell you why, but a zombie shed a tear. It was.
So what if zombies were intelligent?
I mean, that would be crazy. That would be. I don't think that's not what we want.
That's damn sure what we don't.
That's not what we want.
We'll be done.
But so they it was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. Like I said, I mean, you had some of your cliche character tropes and stuff like that. Just from, if you've seen any previous zombie movies, there's one of the groups or one of the pairs of people, they're related, but one of the guys had to kill his wife because she started to turn, and the daughter's like kind of angry about that, but also angry because he kind of blocked her out. That whole bullshit. You got the government who's actually you got one of the dudes that comes with them, who of course he has ulterior motives because that's what the movies usually do. So, it's a pretty fun movie. It's a pretty fun movie. Some good killing, some good zombie kills, some good man. Just when you think it's gonna go all right, some good. No, you thought. So you thought, and yeah, man. Just like I said, I wouldn't. If you go into this movie, I wouldn't get too deep into it, thinking it's gonna be like some masterpiece. But it's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. Good amount of action. Dave Bautista did it. He did his thing.
Underrated.
Yeah, for sure.
Underrated.
Him, yeah, he is for sure. What I will say is the very end of it didn't kind of make it. It kind of just didn't make any sense. But fuck it, we there now. So, but yeah, fun movie. That was really all I really watched.
I'll check it out.
If
When you first brought it up, I was like, yeah. But now that you get into it, I'm not expecting like the best movie on earth, but it sounds like a fun watch.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Just have your hat on that it's gonna be, just not completely typical zombie element, but a lot of what you're familiar with if you know anything about zombies. Some of the same rules apply. Shoot them in the head. That's some of the same shit that kind of applies. Don't get bit. So it's not like completely off the wall, but yeah.
Do you think? I'm not trying to go off scale, but we're talking about movies, so I wanted to keep it within a movie. Do you think Marvel Phase 4 is gonna suck? When I thought about it, not in the sense of like, I'm just saying like, outside of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, I don't think I'm really that excited for any other movies.
But you gotta ask yourself why you're not excited though. You're excited. See, the thing is, you knew where this was going once Thanos was in the picture. You know that Thanos was like because we don't know where this is gonna end up. I think it's too early to cast this by the wayside, because you don't know what they can have as far as like a super, like another, like the villain of this particular phase. It could be a real nigga. So it's like we don't know. I don't think we know enough to really cast it away just yet. But like for me, I'm looking forward to. I mean, Shang-Chi looked good. I can only go off what I've seen.
Shang-Chi looks like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Okay,
2021.
It's good.
So it should be lit.
It's a good movie. So I mean, I think as long as they don't go like, I don't want to sound like that guy, but they don't go out of their way to like invoke like a lot of social justice.
Oh, that's my biggest fear.
As long as they don't go OD
fear
with that, then I think it'll be all right. I'm not saying you can't have none of it, but I'm just saying there's a way you do it. Like they made Pepper look like a boss without like her emasculating Tony.
They're gonna do it.
So I mean, if you're gonna go with that, that's maybe a part of it. But I think the other thing is too was we grew to like, we had to grow to like Iron Man. We had to grow to like Captain America. So I think you gotta get some of these cats, maybe give them some time. Maybe give them some time and see. We can grow to like some of these characters. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm more hesitant, not hesitant, but I'm just more like in the middle because I don't know where this is going yet.
Yeah.
So
who you think gonna be the villain?
Well, they've mentioned Kang the Conqueror as one of the villains in the movies, who I think Jonathan Mayers is gonna play, the guy from Lovecraft Country, the black dude.
From
Lovecraft.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so he's supposed to be cast as Kang the Conqueror. I'd like to see some introduction of Doctor Doom at some point, because I think his reach is, I mean, even though he's tied to Fantastic Four primarily as their villain, but I think his reach extends beyond that. He could really be like a cosmic, if you're talking about like universe shattering type of capabilities as a villain. I think Doctor Doom can give you that.
You think they're gonna bring Galactus?
Possibly. I mean, I don't think anything's off the table. They could find a way to try to maybe do Mephisto or something like that. If you're gonna have Blade, it's gonna be.
What's going on with the Blade movie?
It's gonna be a while, bro. It's gonna be a while for. You see, it ain't even on the. It ain't even on the.
It ain't even on Phase 4.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a while before they get in. I think they're gonna maybe have him in the Doctor Strange movie for a brief little second, but I think that's way down the pipeline, probably 3 or 4 years out.
Yeah.
So
I was just thinking about it because the one movie that I wanted, but I'm not that excited for, but I really wanted it for the longest, was the Black Widow movie. And it's like, I guess it kind of sucks because we know she's dead. I don't think they're gonna bring her back either. I think this is gonna be like the send-off movie, and I could be wrong, but I think it's gonna be the send-off movie.
Well, I just want to enjoy it, and if they find a way to make Taskmaster a G, and because Taskmaster, he trained like some people in the Avengers and stuff like that too. Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's characters you can use from that movie, and kind of pushing forward. But as far as the Black Widow movie itself, I mean, COVID already kind of took a dump on, I think, a lot of the momentum
for Marvel. Yeah.
So, but I think it'll still be a solid effort and just a kind of a good send off for her. Because like I said, I don't think they're gonna continue anything with her. Yeah. But she's put in her due. She's been in enough Marvel movies, so she's put in her time.
I still think they really messed up with that, putting out Captain Marvel before her. That was like a really big blunder. Okay, it was almost like they wanted us to care about Captain Marvel. Because I didn't really care about Captain Marvel.
Because, man, you can't have us care for her and then also put her in a movie for 5 minutes after that. She was in Endgame for like 5 minutes.
Because they realized that we didn't care about her. I think that's really what happened.
But we didn't care, but it's not our fault. They had no real plans for her. They literally just lumped her in the universe without any real plans. So
their plan was she's gonna win. She's gonna be the one to beat Thanos.
I'm not even gonna get into that movie, but
I think
Thanos rocked her shit. Well, I was like, yeah.
That's probably. I guarantee you that's why they taking so long. Because the next Captain Marvel don't even come out till like 23 or something.
Oh, it's called, what is it called? The Marvels?
Yeah, like Miss Marvels or
no, it's called the Marvels.
Yeah, the Marvels. Yeah, like come on, bro. Because they know they messed up. So now they're like, oh, we gotta figure it out. They're probably gonna give her these cameos throughout the movies. Because they're like, oh, we fucked up.
Yeah, but it's enough for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I'm always gonna watch Marvel movies. It's just when I really thought about it, I'm like, we'll see. But I do think that ambiguity. I
got you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
The ambiguity of it all. I think that's gonna be. I think that is a big thing, and the momentum. They have lost a lot of momentum, but they kind of got it back with WandaVision and Captain America.
I mean, the shows are gonna buy them an opportunity to keep people in the loop and just. So I think, like I said, I really think Marvel's really only enemy is its own agenda. Yeah.
And if Doctor Strange sucks, which I'm sure it's not, but if Doctor Strange sucks, that might be the end of Marvel right there. Because
I don't know about the end. I mean, I think it'll be a tough go. It's gonna take a lot to me to have Marvel really like collapse. But I think obviously that would be a step in the wrong direction, for sure. Because I think Benedict Cumberbatch is probably one of the best actors who is still in the Marvel universe. Period.
Yeah.
So, I think that it would be they'd have to work really hard to make that movie trash.
Yeah, because but there's a lot riding on that movie. Those the main two movies right now is Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, especially because they coincide. We all know they coincide.
Well, those are the two movies that still have familiarity. The two actors or the two characters. Yeah. Like besides Guardians and we don't know what's gonna happen with Black Panther.
Our Eternals. I still don't know anything about the Eternals.
The Eternals. I mean, you have Thor: Love and Thunder, which is bringing back Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, but at this point, man, like I said, I'm just chilling, bro. I'm gonna wait and see what the first couple movies looks like, and then I'll make my decision because it's always the end credits that get you
hype
to where the next direction is. So.
I just hope they don't make. I hope they turn Thor into a more serious character now. Like they had their fun, but but after everything this man has been through, I'm not saying I want a Thor 1 and 2 series, but don't make him a punching bag, and that's my biggest fear because they brought back Taika Waititi.
Yeah, so like I said, we'll see. So the league I was talking about earlier it's Overtime Elite. That's the league that I was talking about. Okay. So Overtime Elite is that's the league that's bringing in the high schoolers. And again, to the audience, what that means is that the players cannot play for their actual high school basketball team. They'll still go to class and they'll still get their diplomas from high school, but by joining this league, they forego playing on their high school basketball team. So that's what that means. So people were like, "Oh, how are they gonna get their diploma?" Like, well, they're still going to school.
They're still going to school.
Still going to school, idiots.
They're just not playing for the school.
So what do you think about this turn? We've been kind of touching on this in so many ways, from whether it be the G League, and now we have this overtime elite where we have young players able to earn from their talents without having to go through the college metric. What?
It sounds like if this blows up, like in the sense of like if it gets popular, that might be the end of. That might be the end of it's not gonna be the end of high school sports or college sports, but it's gonna draw a lot of attention away from it. Because it's not gonna just end with the basketball. If it works with basketball, they're eventually gonna bring it to football, and then if it works with football, they're gonna bring it to baseball, and then volleyball, then softball. Like it's gonna continue. So I don't know. It's really just one of those things that I see play out. And also everything sounds like a good idea until like government gets involved. Because you gotta remember, government funds these schools, these public schools. So what if government steps in and be like,
no, well, technically we fund them through our tax dollars, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like if the government, it's like what we're seeing with crypto. They're like, oh man, they're making money doing this. Oh well, what the hell? You know, and this could be the same thing.
But to me, that's retarded. Like, why the fuck would you? Why would you not allow? I mean, we're in a capitalist society, so why not?
That's why.
Oh,
that you just answer your own question right there.
Yeah, that's.
We're in a capitalist society.
Yeah, but to me, that would go against that. To me, that would be bad for. That would be bad for the government to intervene, and try to make a stipulation. Because again, it's the rules are not taken away from, because by law they have to go to school, right? So they're still going to school. They're still getting an education, which allegedly is supposed to be the most important thing. Even though for these guys, if their mission is college, if their mission is basketball as a career, then this would be the most viable option. Because you're gonna try to convince them that, and look, the thing about the whole having a backup plan, I don't disagree with it, but they get to make that decision. Let them decide if they want to have a backup plan or not. Forcing them to try to go to school or go to college, excuse me. Which even though it's one and done now, but even that whole thing is you trying to get your little piece off the top before you send them on their way to the NBA. You know, which to me I think is it's only basketball right now. Football still, I think the rules still gonna apply.
Because think about it. Think about how the fight to get NCAA players played. So and you guarantee the NCAA has government officials in their pockets, lobbyists. Like this is.
But to me, it's different from trying to change rules that already exist to making a situation where we're not asking the NCAA to do anything. We're actually just gonna work around it and do our own shit. So the NCAA is now gonna have to make a decision and change their rules. If you want to try to compete, you can't interfere with what's going on in the sector, especially because ultimately. Let's keep it a buck, all right? These kids gonna make money, but these white boys gonna make money too. So the government's really not gonna be that. They're not really gonna be that hard pressed to get that involved, because something's in it for white people. Something's in it for white people. So we got these cats who are able to make money right out the gate before they even get into the league. Enough money to at least get started with something. And the only other thing that they would need to probably really get connected with is just some level of financial literacy, and just somebody who can steer them from not fucking that money off. Yeah. But I think that would be more internalized, which would be the importance of hopefully these the only thing I do worry about is these coaches, because a lot of times that's what happens. It's the coaches that take advantage of these kids. It's the coach. So as long as the organizations do not crumble within through shit like that, I think they'll be fine. But once I think to what you're saying, if we start seeing these things where coaches are jerking kids around, and then the government will feel like, okay, we got to intervene, and then we got a situation where, okay,
that makes sense.
That's just my take on it. So
it's one of those things. I think we just got to watch play out.
I mean, of course,
yeah.
But I just think it's interesting because again, we've asked the NCAA for them to reconsider because no one has a problem with them making way more money every year after year after year after year after year. And this is what we be talking about. So whenever we try to do some other shit, then it's a problem. No one has a problem with it's the same thing that happened with the GameStop shit.
Oh yeah.
When the big wigs make their little plays and come up with their little investments, these investment capitalist companies and stuff like that, no one really cares. But when the little guy finally gets a piece, then we want to try to
eat my ass 2 for 3 1.
You feel what I'm saying? Then we want to try to I can't. Oh, we can't sell off no shares. We can't. You know what I'm saying? Robinhood's down and all that other shit, which, you know. But that's what I'm saying, man. So, you know, I mean, nothing's perfect. Let's keep it about. Nothing's perfect. So there's, like I said, I do think we have to be careful and making sure these kids do not become preyed upon by certain companies and things like that, because everyone's gonna find a way how to make a dollar from this thing. So that is one thing that I think we do have to make sure we keep an eye on. So
yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna keep my eye on it because I'm really intrigued to see how this goes.
But so this is interesting. But like I said, because right now we're only talking about one sport. I don't know if, I mean, they say they're going to feel it a little bit, and schools are going to feel it a little bit, but we have places where football is king still. I don't know if they're really.
Like the entire South?
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they start getting into the football shit,
that's when you
then
really.
You start really like, oh. So.
Hold up.
Watch it now, boy. Watch it, boy. So, is there anything else you?
Nah, man. I want to listen to Kwame Brown thing now.
just look him up and see, just see what he's, or at least just get caught up on what he's been talking about. Oh, just great. Just get caught up on what he's been talking about, and like I said, man, it's an interesting time when you look past he's just all the shit that people say now. Oh, he's clout chasing. He's, he's just hurt. He's in his feelings. We do a lot of we have a lot of dismissive verbiage. Then when you get past that shit, sometimes people are actually saying stuff.
It's easier to dismiss people than to listen.
That's a bar.
I mean, it's true. It's just people will rather sit there and pretend like you're not saying something of substance than to actually listen and then realize that they suck.
And we put the value of the message off of the person. If Michael Jordan was out here talking and niggas would hang on his nutsack every word he said.
That's true.
Because of Michael Jordan. Man, he can't do no wrong. But because it's
Kwame
Brown, who didn't have maybe the most illustrious career, who doesn't have any memorable highlights, who is considered a bust. And he said something to the effect of, and I'll say this and we'll wrap it up. He was like, yo, if you're telling me that a kid who got free lunch, basically saying he was poor, a kid who got free lunch from, I don't know if he's from Georgia or South Carolina, but was able to make close to $70 million over the span of 12 years playing basketball. If you're telling me that that's a bust, then we need more busts.
Think about it.
We need more busts. So that's what you're telling me. So I mean, yeah, all right. In the realm of basketball, he didn't achieve, but in the realm of life, he doing good.
That man took a huge W.
Mind you, you ain't heard nothing about him being in trouble with the law. He ain't strung on drugs. He ain't broke. All this shit that you would think a hurt, violent person would be. Someone who's allegedly hurt and experiencing trauma. But it's just the way that the media depicts our people, especially but it's just the way that the media depicts people. When someone gives a layout of the land, and then people just run with it, then we get Kwame Brown. We really? So this is the thing. People are just getting to really. I guess people are just really getting to know him. I never even heard him talk outside of his draft when he got drafted.
Yeah,
And what he said was he wasn't even interested. He didn't even say anything about helping the team. He said, "Yo, I get to put my mom in a house and take care of my family." That's what he said. So I already told you where his head was at a long time ago. So, but all right. On that note, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for this week. This episode of the podcast. Yeah. Boys, man, I'm got to deal with that. I was hot in here, man. All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up for this week's episode 54 of the Pencil Pushers Project. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for tuning in to our podcast. If you are watching us on YouTube, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell. If you look in the description, we'll have timestamps for the topics for today's episode. We appreciate you guys' support. We'll see you guys next week. You guys stay safe. And don't say shit about Kwame because he on your head.